How's it going, guys? This is Jason. We're back with more Magic the Gathering Arena. We're going to do another standard event. This time we're going to be using a Jeskai Fires deck. This one in particular made by HT991122 in a recent competition. We're going to be giving this a try. Staples of this deck include Teferi Time Raveler, Cavalier of Flame, Cavalier of Gales. So Teferi for sort of control elements, and the Cavaliers as sort of bombs, and obviously the Fires of Invention, which is the namesake of the deck, an enchantment that allows you to play spells for free, essentially, as long as their converted mana cost is less than or equal to the number of lands you control. So, let's give this a try. I don't see Fires. I do see an Opt, which we can use first turn. We got a Bone Crusher Giant for removal and potentially a beefy creature. We've got a board wipe. We can work with this. We've got a Scryland. Yeah, let's keep this. We've got sort of cards that can help us survive to find the pieces for our combo. And obviously a Cavalier of Gales in case we do find our Fires of Invention card. Hello. What are we up against? Looks like he mulliganed once, so that's a good sign. Is it possible this is a mirror match? I saw a Fabled Passage and he got a red. Interesting. So we're going to do an island so we can do an Opt. Oh, Rakdos. Interesting. So this is looking like it might be an Aristocrats deck. Let's do that Opt. What do we got? Sorcerer's Spyglass. Look at an opponent's hand, then choose any card name. Activated abilities of sources with the chosen name can't be activated unless they're mana abilities. Oh, we could totally neutralize that Priest of Forgotten Gods he just played. I like that. Problem is, we don't have enough mana to play it this next turn, but turn 3 we could do it. I like this. Let's keep that. Oh, okay, we do have enough mana, because we're just going to put this down. So, as an added bonus, we get to look at their hand. Oh, you know what? Alternatively, we could also use this card on Witch's Oven, which I know this deck has got to have a Witch's Oven, and that breaks their entire combo with Cauldron Familiar. I think I actually prefer that. Let's do that. Let's do Witch's Oven. I'm going to go ahead and assume they have that. So yeah, their Priest of Forgotten Gods is pretty useless right now since they don't have any creatures out. They can play a few and do the ability, but I don't have any creatures to sacrifice. And you know what? I might actually board wipe if they on my next turn. Let's do Temple of Epiphany, since our Fabled Passages will come out for without being tapped the following turn. And we might want to destroy his Midnight Reaper before we do the board wipe, just so he doesn't draw too many cards. So I think that's the current plan right now. Scry. I'm going to get rid of this, I think, because I want Fires of Invention. Of course, this could help us get Fires of Invention, but it's even better case if we just draw Fires of Invention. So, let's do it this way. We're going to keep Bone Crusher Giant in case he, no, I don't know. We're just gonna play it at the last second, I guess. Okay, so now I am going to destroy Midnight Reaper because once he has 2 creatures on the field, he can do Priest of Forgotten Gods sacrifice ability, and if I destroy this one first, then he won't have that chance. Yep. And what is he going to do now? Witch's Oven, which is totally useless. Fantastic. We lucked out that we got this early on, realizing what kind of deck this was, and another Witch's Oven, which is not going to help him at all. We've got another Sorcerer's Spyglass, which we could play on Priest of the Forgotten Gods. Oh my goodness. This is going to totally neutralize his deck. Wow. Okay. So, we're going to do the board wipe probably first. But let's get this out. And we'll do Priest. And I believe those are the only cards that I know of in this style deck that have activated abilities that we need to worry about. So I feel like we've utterly crippled his deck at this point already. Oh, I did not think about Chandra. Yikes. Okay, well, Chandra's going to be an issue, but luckily not that big of one. We can play Bone Crusher Giant to shut down Chandra pretty quickly.
Chandra, you need more control. Just let me burn.
I still think we made the right choice with neutralizing Priest of Forgotten God's ability. So he's going to attack with everyone. We'll take 4. We're still okay. And now let's get a land. We're gonna go for... We don't have any white, so let's grab a plains. Okay. We could do Cavalier of Gales. We could do Bone Crusher Giant. We could do our board wipe. We're definitely gonna do our board wipe before Bone Crusher Giant because Bone Crusher Giant will be killed by the board wipe. I'm thinking board wipe now, followed by Cavalier of Gales. And we can do this tap land. You know what? No. Well, I've already committed. I've already put down the tap land. I was going to say, maybe I should have done Cavalier of Gales first, so that when I do Deafening Clarion, it can give my Cavalier of Gales lifelink. But I already played the tap land tapped, so I didn't have mana for Cavalier of Gales. But we can always do that next time, since we have an extra one, if we need to board wipe again.
Go get him, buddies.
Yeah, so he is putting some good pressure on me, but if I can get Cavalier of Gales out and then do Deafening Clarion, oh my goodness, it's Fires of Invention. So what we're going to do is, we're going to do Cavalier of Gales, next turn we're going to do Fires of Invention, and then play Deafening Clarion for free. And I doubt he has removal for Cavalier of Gales. Plus we get this awesome draw power, and we got a Cavalier of Flame, fantastic. We're going to put this and this on the top of our library, and we'll take Fabled Passage first. This one come out now. Yeah, this game's looking like it's pretty decisively over in my favor.
Say hi to my fiery friends.
On my turn, we're going to board wipe, we're going to kill Chandra, we're going to gain 5 life. It's looking pretty good. You know what? We're not going to block just in case he has some kind of 4 damage thing that I can't anticipate. I don't want to take any risks about losing Cavalier of Gales. Okay. So, Fires of Invention and then Deafening Clarion is the plan. I'm glad to see that there wasn't a pause. That means he most likely doesn't have any instants to respond or anything. Now we'll do this. And there's the concede. Good game. Sadly, wasn't a very fair game. I got those Sorcerer's Spyglasses out almost immediately and utterly neutralized what that deck is supposed to do. Okay, we're off to a good start. Let's continue. Take a sip of my chai tea here in between. Delicious. Chai tea is my favorite. Okay. We do have Fires of Invention in this first hand. We've got Opt, we've got Bone Crusher. I like it. What I don't like is that we don't have any basic lands, but maybe we can... that's not really a priority, though. We're just going to have to take the life hit, I think. We'll do this. So we have a red and a blue. We'll do Opt on his end step. Depending on what type of deck we're up against, I don't like to see red. That means that maybe I shouldn't be spending life to get things out faster. Because red's going to try and kill me as quick as possible, and I'm just helping by paying 2 life for each land. Is this going to help? No. What I really need for red, what I probably need is a Deafening Clarion And we've got tons of land. We just need to be careful about when we pay life for it, so. Okay, we got a basic land anyway. Also, we have this Castle Vantress, which will come out untapped since we have an island. Teferi, okay. So Teferi, I'm thinking Teferi turn 3, Bone Crusher turn 2, Fires of Invention turn 4. So let's put out a Plains, since we already have the other 2 colors. And then we'll have Bone Crusher doing 2 damage to target of our choice during their turn. Probably their 10 Street Dodger. Let's see what else they got for their turn. Runaway Steamkin. So that's going to be bounced for sure by Teferi. So, yeah. We're going to Teferi that Steamkin away. We draw a card in the process. And we essentially sent them back a turn. They play it again. Do they have an instant to kill Teferi, though? Looks like they do. A shock, maybe? Yeah, there it is. Okay. Well, I think our next step is going to be to destroy Runaway Steamkin with our other Bone Crusher Giant that we just picked up. So let's do that. We're going to do Fires of Invention so we get to play for free. And now Bone Crusher will do Stomp to Runaway Steamkin. The majority of the damage we've taken thus far has been from our own tap lands. Oh, that is going to be something we need to handle. Torbrand's extremely dangerous. Do we have anything? Choose a target spell or permanent that's red or green. Its owner puts it on top of their library. We might... Oh, we can't use this on their turn because Fires of Invention means we can only cast spells during our turn. So, I'm thinking... We're going to put this out for sure. We're going to do Cavalier of Flame. We have enough to give it haste and do big damage to him, and we have enough to put Torbrand on top of his library. So we're going to do that. That sounds good to me. We're putting out a huge bomb, first of all. We're not gonna discard anything. We're putting out a huge bomb. We're also bouncing one of his cards. Oh, I forgot that we get to cast this for free. So actually, we can even buff Cavalier Flame once. Yeah, we're looking good. Next turn, we've got the choice of either 2 Bone Crushers and give them both haste with Cavalier. Or we can do Drawn from Dreams. I'm thinking 2 Bone Crushers just to sort of put the ultimate pressure on him. 1, 2, and then we'll buff them, give everyone haste. And there it is. Look at that. Oops, forgot to click. I was distracted by my chai tea. Okay. Looking good, 2-0 so far. Let's continue. You know, it's really not difficult to see why Fires of Invention came in first in this last tournament. It's just, it really seems to be working. What do we got here? We've got Opt, Aether Gust, and 2 of the bombs that we're not going to get till turn 5. I feel like keeping this just because of Opt for that opportunity to find a 2 to 3 cost spell, and then Aether Gust in case we're up against that color scheme. Let's give it a try. I really don't like mulliganing unless I have to, so if a hand seems at all viable, I'll usually try and play it. Do that Opt during his end step. Gruul. Gruul aggro historically has been my bane. We don't want another Cavalier. We've got enough of those. Another land. Okay, let's see what we draw. Another land, huh? Well, let's see. Hollowed Fountain, then Castle Vantress, then Fabled Passage. No, I think Castle Vantress, then Hollowed Fountain, because Castle Vantress will allow us to play Aether Gust without having to pay 2 life. And then Fabled Passages coming out as the 4th and 5th lands will mean we don't have to pay any penalty for them. But yeah, looking like this is a Gruul aggro deck, and we're going to need to be careful about how much damage we take, because they really can sneak up on you with that damage. In fact, we might want to do this right now. Let's do it right now in the hopes that we're going to get draw power later with Teferi or Drawn from Dreams, or if we get our fires out. Looks like he decided not to put it on top of his library. What that makes me think immediately is that he does not have the lands he needs, and he's looking for lands to draw. So that could point to something good for us. If that's that... Well, that could have been the case. He might have just top-decked that land. Still not sure. Okay, so there's a Spellbreaker. That's going to be an issue. Let's get this out, and we'll do fires for sure. And we could do Deafening Clarion, although that might be a bit premature. Let's put out a red. We want as many reds as possible for Cavalier of Flame's ability. We're doing Fires of Invention, no questions asked, but Deafening Clarion, I think we're going to wait on Deafening Clarion for him to put out another creature. Problem is, he could do Questing Beast turn 4, in which case Deafening Clarion isn't going to make a difference and we just took more damage for nothing. But yeah, we're going to hold on to Deafening Clarion, and the reason is, even if he does play Questing Beast, we can put out Cavalier of Flame next turn and give it haste, and then also give it lifelink with Deafening Clarion. And that's probably the most efficient use of Deafening Clarion that we can get. So let's see, can we play another creature? Yes, okay. So this is good. Our board wipe will actually be more efficient this way. We've got 5 lands out now. Let's get more red. We're doing Cavalier of Flame. We're not discarding anything. And we're doing Deafening Clarion to give it... we're going to do both. We give it lifelink, we destroy his creatures, and we have enough to give ourselves haste and buff. And that's 7 life we just gained. And took him down to 13. Look at that. That's such a brutal combo. We've also got 2 Cavalier of Gales coming up on our next turn, so... And that Bone Crusher Giant is not going to be enough to stop our army here. Look at this. This is probably game over right here. This is just insane how good this combo is. Yeah, and look at that. That's a concede right there. It's utterly ridiculous how good this deck can be when it's going well. 3-0. Let's keep this going. Let's keep the momentum going. Okay, we've got a Fires, we've got Teferi, we've got 2 of the Cavaliers. As long as we're not up against an aggro deck, I think we'll be okay, because we do have Teferi turn 3. I am a bit worried about it if we do fight an aggro deck, just because waiting until turn 3 to cast something can be your doom. So we're going to roll the dice and hope that Teferi turn 3 is not too late. And there's always the possibility of drawing something earlier, like an Opt or a Bone Crusher. Okay, so this is not particularly encouraging, the fact that he has a 1/1 haste. I was hoping that he didn't have an aggro, but it's looking like he does. We're going to put out turn 2 Aether Gust, most likely, to put away his greatest threat, and then we'll do turn 3 Teferi after that. Yeah, definitely looking like an aggro deck. We're going to put away his Runaway Steamkin. Unfortunately, we have to pay 2 life for that to get a land out, but that's what we gotta do. And we're actually gonna wait until his turn to do that, because there's no reason not to. He's most likely gonna try and buff it by playing a spell before combat, and then in response we'll play Aether Gust. Let's see if he's gonna do another spell. If we could pick up... Oh, man. If we could pick up a Deafening Clarion, that would be absolutely fantastic right now. He's got another 1/1, maybe? Wow. Look at this. Well, in response to this, I don't want him casting anything else, so we're going to put Runaway Steamkin away now. But, yeah, Deafening Clarion would absolutely cripple him at this point. It would wipe his entire board. He'd have 1 card left. And let's see, Teferi coming out. Teferi's gonna die though for sure. Do these guys just do damage to planeswalkers? They do. So Teferi will die if we play him now. That may be worth it just to divert damage from our health pool. I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to pay 2 life to get him out. We're going to play Teferi. We're not going to bounce anything because these things are not worth bouncing it, and he'll take... We're basically going to make him a big damage sponge by making him bigger. And hopefully they'll attack Teferi instead of me. They're attacking me, which is not what I wanted to see. Okay, so I need an answer ASAP, otherwise I'm going to be dead next turn. Didn't get an answer, and I think that's that. There's nothing I can do. I could bounce one of his Scorch Spitters, then I'd only be taking 5 damage, but after that, I guess I basically need a Deafening Clarion, so let's give it a try. We'll bounce one of his Scorch Spitters. This also presupposes he doesn't have any direct damage, which, as a red deck, that's sort of a leap, but that's not a Deafening Clarion. Let's get rid of it. And yeah, we're basically looking for a top deck Deafening Clarion, and for him not to have any direct damage spells or haste creatures. That's the only way I see for us to survive. Getting ready with a good game here. Is he anticipating the possibility of a board wipe? Yeah, he's smart. Okay, so there is a chance for us to get our Deafening Clarion with this opt. That's not what we want. Last chance. That is not a Deafening Clarion. So I think we're dead here. Yeah, there's no chance. What would fires do? We could do fires, but then we can only play Drawn from Dreams. Oh no, we could play a 5-cost. That's still not going to help us though. Yeah, that's game. Good game. Okay, so first loss. We're still going at a pretty good rate. We were 3-1 at this point. If we can keep this, win rate up, we can get to 7. So let's give it another shot. So I think the mistake looking back was it was basically exactly as I said at the beginning of that hand, just that I was sort of rolling the dice, that I wasn't going up against an aggro deck, and you know, sometimes you the worst case happens. Oh, there's our Deafening Clarion. We don't have any red mana, which is concerning. This hand's not going to work. We only have 2 mana. The only thing we have for 3 mana or less is Deafening Clarion and Aether Gust. We don't even have any red mana. Yeah, we're going to have to mulligan this. Now we have 4 mana. We've got Deafening Clarion and Bone Crusher. This is way better. And we can get rid of one of these lands. We're going to get rid of Hollowed Fountain, I think. Yeah. And since we don't need anything first turn, let's scry. Another land. Do we need another land? No, we need the other pieces of our combo. We need Fires of Invention or Teferi or Witch's Oven. Okay, now I want a Sorcerer's Spyglass. That's the next thing on my list. We're going to... Bone Crusher isn't going to be that useful because his 2 damage to creatures is counteracted by the fact that this guy has a Witch's Oven, because he can just sacrifice in response. So we're actually going to put our tap land now. We really want that Sorcerer's Spyglass. That's the main priority against this Witch's Oven Cauldron Familiar combo. So actually, here's what we'll do. We're going to do Temple of Triumph. We're going to try looking for the card we want, and then if he does his combo and puts his Cauldron Familiar out with his Witch's Oven tapped, we'll destroy it and ruin the combo temporarily with Bone Crusher Giant. So that's the current plan. Another Scryland. I don't need that. I need Sorcerer's Spyglass or something else to help me find cards. Maybe a Drawn from Dreams would also be good. Unfortunately, I think I lingered a bit too long there on my my priority there. So I think I let him know that I have an instant. Okay, let's see if he actually does the rest of the combo his turn, or if he waits until his turn. Okay, excellent. He is going for it, so now, before his end step ends, we can actually destroy his creature, and he'll have to play another creature before he can get another food for his Cauldron Familiar. So that worked in our favor a bit. We've temporarily stopped his combo. There's a Chandra. Okay, so immediately he has other creatures he can sacrifice with Witch's Oven, so that was a pretty short-lived advantage. We need to stop Chandra pretty quickly. We're probably going to play Bone Crusher next turn, depending on what we draw. Teferi. What can Teferi do? We can bounce his Witch's Oven, but that's not going to do much. He'll just play it again. So I think Bone Crusher is probably going to be the way to go. Yeah, Bone Crusher is the only way I see. We get a threat out there. We threaten Chandra. He's probably going to have to waste a removal to prevent Chandra from getting killed. Or he'll just chump block it with Cauldron Familiar. That's another choice, but now he's got his Mayhem Devil out. Okay.
Oh, they're so cute.
Oh, he stole it. Wow. He took it with Claim the Firstborn. Okay, well done. Well, now I'm hoping that, yeah, he sacrificed it. Okay. Well, what I'm going to do now is board wipe with Deafening Clarion so that he loses both his creatures. But man, look at my health already. That is, wow. I'm speechless at how fast my health went down from that. We really don't have any other choice except Deafening Clarion. And we just need to hope that he doesn't get another Mayhem Devil to start doing more damage. And then even with that, we're still going to take 2 damage each turn from Chandra, so definitely doing Deafening Clarion. We might do Cavalier of Gales after that for some draw power, but that might even still be too late. We also have to remember he's doing his Cauldron Familiar combo. So actually, this game's probably already over.
Hey, these little guys are great.
Yeah, it's over because he's got one more Cauldron Familiar. Good game. Wow. So 2 in a row aggro decks just destroying this Fires of Invention deck. So it just goes to show you, no matter how good a deck can be, very likely there's like a scissors to its paper. Some style of deck that just works really well against your style of deck. So, I mean, at this point, after those 2 losses in a row, at this point I'm just hoping for one more win so we can break even with the cost of the entry. What do we got here? 2 Gales, 1 drawn from Dreams. I'm not really happy with this. It's too many expensive cards, and we need some lower cost options. So let's mulligan this. Opt, Sorcerer's Spyglass. This is way better. Let's keep this. We can probably stand to get rid of one of our Gales. We've got a 2 life land. We've got a scry land, a basic land. Yeah, this is looking way better. I think we're gonna get rid of probably Cavalier of Flame, so that we get extra draw power later in the game to make up for our mulligan. Yeah. Okay. Are we gonna do a first turn opt? I think we are. No. We're gonna keep the option of doing Sorcerer's Spyglass turn 2 without paying life, so we'll do Temple of Epiphany first. Hallowed Fountain. I don't know that we need more land at this point. We need like a Teferi or a Fires of Invention. I think we're gonna do Sorcerer's Spyglass turn 2. Okay, so possibly Gruul we're going up against. Let's take a look at their hand. What do we got? Oh my goodness, Embercleave. Damn. So, Embercleave is not going to be particularly affected by Sorcerer's Spyglass. Because its initial attach to a creature is not an activated ability, it's a triggered ability. It's triggered when it enters the battlefield. So that's only going to affect Embercleave's subsequent equips. The only other card in here that we see with an activated ability is Skargan Hellkite, but most likely he's going to be using this for haste anyway. So I'm trying to think what other cards in a Gruul aggro deck will have activated abilities. I'm sure I'll think of it later, but at the moment I can't. Let's just pick Skargan Hellkite for now. Zertog Goblin. We're gonna need some. We're gonna need some answers for these creatures. Fires of Invention. Oh man, now I need more land with this here. So this is good. We'll take this. We've got another ops. We could potentially draw another land. Yes, yes. Fires of Invention's coming out next turn. Hopefully we draw another 4 or less mana cost spell for Fires of Invention to. We didn't. Okay. Well. Let's put it out anyway. Might as well. And then the following turn we'll have 2 Cavalier of Gales, which is pretty good, but we just want to make sure we're not taking too much damage. I think we're probably going to take 7 damage this turn. There's Paradise Druid. I think he's holding off until the following turn to do Questing Beast, and then probably Embercleave as well. Okay, so here we go with Temple of Triumph. Drawn from Dreams. I don't think we want Drawn from Dreams. We probably want a Deafening Clarion, to be honest. Let's see if we can find one. 2 cards into your library. So let's get rid of the lands, I think. And then, do we want another Cavalier of Gales, or do we want Teferi Time Raveler? I think we went Teferi, because Teferi's going to prevent Embercleave from surprising us, and that's probably the biggest threat at this point. So let's do Teferi. Teferi can also bounce something, so that'll slow him down even more. Let's do that. And we're going to keep Cavalier as a blocker, since we're down to 12 health, and that's that might seem like you're pretty good, but against the Gruul aggro deck, they can deal out a tremendous amount of damage on short notice. So we're going to keep Cavalier as a blocker for now, until we get several Cavaliers out. Yeah, there's Questing Beast. We're going to have Cavalier blocking to prevent him from killing Teferi. Actually, if he attacks with both, he'll kill Teferi, but that's a fine trade if we can kill Questing Beast. Why does this have +1/+1? What is going on here? Oh, his creatures have Riot. Okay, so we're actually trading with Cavalier of Gales. That's fine, we've got another one. Yeah. I forgot that Rhythm of the Wild gives all of his creatures... let's put these on the bottom, we don't need more lands. I forgot that Rhythm of the Wild gives all of his creatures Riot. That's, yeah. Let's do another Cavalier of Gales. What do we got? Bone Crusher. Yeah, let's get rid of lands. So, seems like we're playing Bone Crusher, doesn't it? We're gonna do... We can't do the 2 damage direct to the creature because it's got hexproof. Let's do his ability, because why not? It doesn't really give us a benefit except for growing him, since Fires of Invention makes it so we can only play spells on our turn. We might as well do Bone Crusher as another blocker, I'm thinking. Because all of his creatures can have haste. And the 2 damage to his life pool is not that effective, so let's just put him out there as another creature. We're still in defensive mode a bit until we can find a card that sort of decisively puts things in our favor. Now, is he going to make this a 6/6 so that Cavalier of Gales? Yes, he is. Now, luckily, he can't do his damage ability because of Sorcerer's Spyglass, but he is more powerful than Cavalier of Gales now, which means... Oh, you know what? I have enough for Castle Vantress. Perfect. Totally forgot about that. Let's get rid of these lands. Let's see if we can find what we need. Another Fires is not what I wanted to see. Let's put a land out. We could try baiting an attack. Huh. Yeah, this is tricky, because we could try attacking with Cavalier of Gales in the hope that he blocks, in which case we could do Bone Crusher Giant to finish him off. But if he doesn't block, he could put Embercleave right on Skargan Hellkite. And in fact, I think that's what he's going to do anyway. So what we need to do is grow Teferi. Next turn, we'll sacrifice Teferi to bounce Skargan Hellkite. That's pretty much the only thing I see we can do. And let's attack with Bone Crusher Giant to bait a block. If he does block, we'll destroy Skargan Hellkite. He didn't, so we get some free damage in. Then we've still got Cavalier of Gales as a blocker. Is there any reason not to play a second of these? You can cast spells on during your turn. You can cast no more than 2 spells each turn. I don't see why not. Now we've got 2. I don't think it makes a difference, but we're scrying at his end step, that's for sure. Let's see if he plays Embercleave on Skargan Hellkite. If he does, we're going to have to sacrifice Cavalier of Gales, but then we'll probably bounce Skargan Hellkite with Teferi. Another Skargan Hellkite. Is he going to make it a 6/6 also? Or is he giving it haste? He gave it haste, so he's going in for the full attack. So this is an issue. Is he going to go for Teferi at all? That's my next question. Okay. So he's going to kill Teferi. I'm going to destroy his other Skargan Hellkite. That's fine. I'll get to scry a bit. And I'm happy with this. Now, I need to find an answer for Skargan Hellkite. Otherwise I lose because of Embercleave. We've got another Cavalier of Gales. Deafening Clarion. Is Deafening Clarion going to help us? Not really. We need... We're going to keep Cavalier of Gales, but we're going to put Deafening Clarion on the bottom. No, we're keeping both. If Cavalier of Gales dies, there's no reason to scry 2. We already know what the top 2 are. If Cavalier of Gales dies, we get to scry again, and then we can replace Deafening Clarion if we need to. Oh my goodness, we got 2 Deafening Clarions. So, if we didn't have Fires of Invention, we could play both of these and destroy Skargan Hellkite, but because we have Fires of Invention, we can only play 1 more spell this turn. So, we're going to hope that he doesn't do Embercleave on Skargan Hellkite and just develops his field more. If that's what happens, we'll be able to destroy Skargan Hellkite during our next turn. For this turn, we're going to put out another... we're going to do Stomp. We don't want to put out Bone Crusher just yet because it'll be destroyed by Deafening Clarion next turn if that's what happens. So, let's just hope that he does not put Embercleave on Skargan Hellkite and just puts out more creatures. Collision. Oh, you know what? I just realized he killed my Teferi, so he can still play Embercleave with Flash now, and I think this game's over because he's going to attack and have enough mana. Wow, that's game. Let's make sure that he can work out what to do, but I'm pretty sure if he doesn't misplay, then this is game. Oh, that would have been a good card. So he should attack here and then do Embercleave on Skargan Hellkite to finish me off. God, Embercleave is just the bane of my existence. And Gruul aggro decks for that matter. Wow. Oh, right, okay. He doesn't have to attack this one because it produces a mana. Okay, good game. So close. We were so close to getting... It looked like we were going to get to 7 at first, but then we got 3 losses in a row, which is really sad. So it's like we were shown the power of the Jeskai Fires deck at first, and then we were shown its weakness immediately after, which is aggro decks that are functioning very well. So that's a little bit disappointing. Let's see what we got for prizes. More uncommons. Yeah, we need to get higher wins to get some of those exciting rares and stuff. But that's going to do it for this episode. I had a lot of fun with it. I always have fun with the Fires of Invention deck. It's a fun deck to play, especially in those variations where you have the Fae of Wishes, where you bring out cards from outside of your deck. But yeah, just in general, it's a very interesting card. Sort of mixes things up a bit, and yeah, definitely check it out. So that's going to wrap it up for this episode. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.